Hello and welcome to Panorama from Sokoto. About 3 weeks ago, Sokoto State Governor Ahmad Aliyu inaugurated Sokoto State Economic Advisory Council as part of efforts to revitalize the economy of the state that has suffered setbacks due to closure of industries, insecurity, and high inflation rate, among others. We shall this afternoon be having an insightful conversation on the future of Sokoto State's economy by exploring the Council's strategic plans and initiatives towards achieving the state goals and objectives. I am Asma'u Habibu Shagari. The military has arrested a naval personnel, LS Akila, deployed at Forward Operation Base Ansado for Operation Fansanyama, who opened fire and killed a fellow military colleague. In a statement by the Director Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba assured that after investigation, the case will be forwarded to a standing court-martial set up to address such misdemeanor among troops. Meanwhile, the administrative procedure for notifying the family of the deceased is ongoing, noting that the full name of the deceased will be released in due course. The Defense Headquarters urged the media to exercise caution in reporting and avoid anything that will further demoralize the bereaved family of the victim. Stakeholders are brainstorming at a breakout session of the Nigerian Accountability Summit to strengthen good governance and achieve a corrupt-free society. Frama Payim reports that the session was hosted by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime in Abuja.
Youth and people living with disabilities are an integral part of the society. Hence, the need for them to be actively involved in the fight against corruption to help strengthen good governance, promote transparency, and engender accountable government. The summit this year had panelists from different organizations who engaged participants on the need for a holistic approach towards achieving the theme of the summit.
Together with the National Bureau of Statistics, launched a very important report, the third National Corruption Survey report in Nigeria this year. One of the things we found out from that report is that corruption consistently has no respect, if I'll put it that way, for any form of citizens. So we'll see that it affects women, it affects youth, it affects people with disability.
Fighting corruption and accountability and good governance requires whole of society approach. And that means that every member of our society is required in this fight for strengthening transparency and good governance.
Many a times, most of these people are excluded from these kinds of conversations, and a lot of time people just feel that they are vulnerable and they are left out, and they don't even have an input to what it means to be a citizen of the country.
For participants, the chance to commit to being a positive influence, being the change they want to see in the society, has presented itself.
It's not just to come, listen and leave. You need to get your key takeaways and actively take steps that will ensure that, okay, I'm doing something for myself and I'm doing something for the society as well.
The convener says the overall aim of the summit is geared towards producing good leaders who will turn the fortunes of the nation. Frama Panyi, NTA News.
Significant strides in promoting women's inclusion and democracy, African nations are synergizing to guarantee rights of women, to tackle persistent cultural norms, financial instability, and other challenges hindering women's growth on the continent. Elizabeth Omori reports that these were part of issues raised at a forum on women empowerment by gender advocates from within and outside Nigeria needing positive changes.
Surveys indicate that 1 in every 10 women across the globe live in extreme poverty. Changing the narrative to shape the future for the Nigerian woman informed this gathering. Convener of the forum and other speakers harped on the need to enhance economic stability, address gender inequality, and build the resilience of women to thrive.
So when you bring women together and teach them and talk to them and also enlighten them and educate them of the path to follow and what to do that is right, they'll begin to get that awareness. So we are balancing it by also bringing men into the same platform.
Creating something which can make us survive, it will be the best solution, because that one of saying we'll wait for the work from the government after school is not working.
We have to be the mirror to other women. Secondly, we have to encourage them by imparting the knowledge and the experience that we have had over the years.
Narrating their ordeals, the women say a supportive family system, financial inclusion and education will aid the actualization of their goals.
That your husband died as a widow, they did not bury your star with him. We shouldn't give up.
A woman should also be resilient in whatever that she's doing.
They recommend increased women's representation in leadership positions, promotion of skills development and stiffer punishment for gender-based offences. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Is by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to fulfill the commitment made by previous administration to establish a UNESCO International Category 2 Media and Information Literacy Institute in Nigeria is being fulfilled. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, at a symposium to mark Year 2024 Global Media and Information Literacy Week in Abuja, assured of citizens' empowerment with relevant tools to navigate the dynamic information environment. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Like other nations, Nigeria is conscious of the growing digital revolution and is demonstrating the political will to meeting global practices of inculcating moral values and laying fundamental skills to promote citizens' media literacy using the UNESCO Category 2 International Media and Information Literacy Institute in Nigeria.
It has become imperative and crucial that we empower our citizens with the tools they need to navigate this complex information environment, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence, which will make it more complex. Media and information literacy becomes essential in empowering individuals to critically assess the information they encounter, discern credible sources, and engage responsibly with media content. It is imperative that our schools, universities, and community as a whole prioritize media literacy programs, ensuring that our youth are equipped to thrive in this digital age.
To complement ongoing efforts, the minister wants content creators and social media influencers to prioritize the interests of the nation and uphold the highest ethical standards.
I want to say it to UNESCO and the world over that Nigeria is ready for the MIA. It is our conviction that given the level of commitment and interest shown by Mr. President and the entire team working on this project, we will indeed succeed. This institute, when it finally kicks off, will offer programs and courses that equip Nigerians, Africans, and people worldwide.
UNESCO representative in Nigeria acknowledges the country's leading role in implementing the global desire of a purposeful media ecosystem.
And really congratulations for Nigeria leading MIL here in Africa and beyond Africa.
Our shared goal is to emerge from these two engagements with greater clarity, strengthened partnerships, and a renewed commitment to promoting media and information literacy.
The symposium, with the theme Empowering Nigerians Through Digital Literacy, Navigating the New Media Frontiers for Inclusive Public Information, features presentation on the importance of media and information literacy, jointly organized by the International Media and Information Literacy Institute, the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, and the UNESCO Abuja office. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Continues in a moment. Please stay with us. Now to Kebbi State, over 7 billion naira is to be spent on the construction of township roads and dualization of Argungu bypass. Governor Nasir Idris, while flagging off the project, charged the contractor to execute quality projects that will stand the test of time. Correspondent Abdul Muhammad Bawa reports.
The 6-kilometer road dualization project, valued at over 7 billion naira, is set to enhance the town's beauty and infrastructure. Just in time for the renowned Argungu International Fishing Festival happening this year, the upgraded roads will not only improve connectivity, but also feature solar-powered street light and modern drainage system.
We assure you we will finish this project within 6 months, not 12 months.
It will be portrayed among the best local government in Kebbi State as soon as this road is completed.
Governor Idris, acknowledging the project's significance, also announced the contract award for the rehabilitation of Argungu General Hospital, prioritizing the overall well-being of the people in the town.
When some people are saying that this road is federal road, and I don't know the difference between federal road and state road, because even if it is federal road, it was our people in the state that are using it.
We must show our appreciation on the good work you have been executing in the state. During the ceremony, Governor Idris was honored with the traditional title of Jigon Kabi by the Emir of Argungu, solidifying his connection with the Emirate. In Argungu local government area of Kebbi State, Abdul Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
Roadmap to turn around the economic fortunes of Sokoto State is in sight with the recent inauguration of the State Economic Advisory Council by the state government. Alhatu Abdullahi reports that the move is in line with the governor's 9-point SMART agenda aimed at fast-tracking economic recovery and development of the state.
Inaugurating the committee, Governor Ahmed Aliyu noted that the members selected based on their track records to find sustainable solutions to the state's economic challenges. The governor maintains that the move is part of his administration's 9-point SMART agenda aimed at moving the state forward.
I want to appeal to all and sundry in the state to support this Economic Advisory Council in order to influence the state economic activities, that is for growth and development of our dear state.
Chairman of the council, Bello Machido, says the council will carry out detailed evaluation of the state's economy and identify opportunities in other states to put the state on the path of economic recovery and prosperity.
It takes a man of great vision to be able to recognize that you need to bring the best of your people from among the public sector and the private sector so that together they can harmonize, common positions that will be to the benefit of our great state.
The 19-member council, comprising economists, academia, and politicians, has Bello Machido as chairman and Umar Ajia as alternate chairman, while the special advisor to the governor on economic affairs, Bashir Achida, is to serve as the secretary of the committee. In Sokoto, Alhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And now we move to our discussion segment, which is on transforming Sokoto's economy, the State Economic Advisory Council strategy. And I have with me in the studio the Secretary, Sokoto State Economic Advisory Council, an economist who also doubles as the special advisor to the governor on economic matters, Dr. Bashir Achida. Doctor, you are welcome to Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's begin by knowing the composition of the members of this council.
This council consists of members who have track records in the private sector, mainly the finance and the economic aspect. If you see the chairman, he's a renowned international finance person. The alternate chairman also. You find out that these are people with high record as far as international financing, investment, and economic development is concerned. And these people, they have worked all their lives. Some of them have retired. Some of them are still actively in service. And most of them are indigenous of the state who have distinguished themselves in the area of development. Because you cannot impact when personally you have not improved yourself. These are people who have made track records on what they do. So you find out that these people were strategically selected to serve in this council so that they can be able to provide all the necessary support and push for the economic development of the state. Now, you look at other people also who are brought in from other states, like Olaseni Oduwole, who is from Lagos State, is a household name as far as public sector financing is concerned, and helping state and federal government raise funds and also have development projects spread in the state. So we also have people from the academia. You know, when you want to do this kind of work, this work entails a lot of reviews, a lot of research, a lot of theories that needs to be redefined and aligned. So you need people from the academia. We have about 3 distinguished professors who are also members. And then you've realized that these professors are not even from the state, the 3 of them. But because of how important this assignment is, the governor find it suit for them to be in. Then we have people also, the technocrats, people from the state service, the honorable commissioners, the accountant general, the chairman internal revenue. All of these are members, because these are people who are managing the critical government setting, and these are people that will provide all the necessary information and will be the ones to implement all the necessary policies and programs as enshrined in the framework of this council.
Okay, so what are the council's top priorities in boosting economic growth and development of Sokoto State?
His Excellency in his address has clearly stated out the mandate of the council. One, he said, is to take a comprehensive kind of review of the entire Sokoto economy with a view of revitalizing it, which means there would be a kind of total assessment and analysis of the economy, and that is to require what we call SWOT analysis, understanding the strength of the economy, because from the strength come the opportunities, and also understanding the weakness, because from the weakness then threats comes. So now the council will undertake comprehensive assessment of the economy to understand what are our potentials, what are our weaknesses, and how do we use these potentials to overcome these weaknesses. So this is number one. Number two, also to undertake kind of study the 9-point SMART agenda of His Excellency. The whole 9 agenda, not even the one that is concerned. Because when we talk about economy touches every aspect of life. If healthcare is not in good shape, you cannot have economic development. If the education is not in good state, you cannot have manpower, the required manpower to turn around the economy. So the 9-point agenda of His Excellency also, this council will undertake a kind of tour of the agenda in order to advise on the policy options for the implementation, so that this agenda can be actualized. So it's not just on paper or just rhetoric. It's about doing the work. And these are very serious and respected, highly respected individuals who are dogged and very out to do this work. And that's what. Then another one also is to guide the government. Everyone knows about the issue of investment. These are investment bankers, investment finance people. These are people with a lot of connections and connectivities. So they also have to go into guiding the government on how to have an amplified investment. As you said, the investment coming into the state is just minimal due to a lot of constraint, and also to see how they can advise also on areas to augment revenue. So to provide policies that will enhance the investment, amplify investment, and also augment the revenue of the government. And by only doing that, we cannot see economic development if that is not done. Then another very critical issue also is to look at the identified, because we have the gaps, the infrastructure gap. When we talk about infrastructure, we are talking about telecommunications, we are talking about energy. You know, energy is critical. You know, when we're talking about industrialization, the critical challenge could be power. So now this council also is to look at what are the issues as relating to the infrastructure. What are the issues as they relate to human capital? You know, as I mentioned earlier, human capital is the engine of growth. Whatever you have in place, if you don't have the requisite human capital to drive growth, you will not see any achievement. So now they will also look at this critically to see the gaps in infrastructure, the gaps in human capital, what are the constraints to industrialization, in order to provide a framework for the government to implement so that those things can be overcome.
Okay, so Doctor, how does the council intend to attract investment and partnership to drive economic growth in Sokoto State?
Now the council have started sitting. Immediately the council is inaugurated, we have started working, and now the strategy is being drawn on now evaluating the economy, understanding the nature of it, what is its current stage, because you have to know where you are before you plan on where you are going. So now this is the planning stage.
Okay.
We have started with the planning stage now. We have identified ourselves. We have grouped ourselves into groups to go and undertake several assignments, peer reviews. We also have to review with our peers. There are those who are doing well in the country, states like Ogun, states like Lagos, states like Calabar, and some of them are doing fantastic. Cross River, are doing fantastic in some areas of agriculture. So now the state is studying some of these things. The council is understanding some of these things and is coming out with areas to see where reforms, public sector reforms are needed, where investments are needed, and there are also to have data, because whoever is coming to a state for investment requires to see data and what is the relevance of this data as far as the growth is concerned. So they want to have information about the state. Major issue we have, especially at the subnational level, is lack of accurate data. And you cannot plan and have policy execution without accurate data.
Okay. Doctor, I will not allow you to go until I ask this very important question. What benefits will Sokoto State stand to get from the recently inaugurated superhighway that stretches from Ilela to Badagry?
That's fantastic. I think it is a plus for the council that it came at a better time, because roads provide connectivity, and connectivity is very relevant as far as economic development is concerned, because people will tell you, how do I convey my raw materials from Lagos to Sokoto? How do I open up to the market? Now, on this road, we provide, Sokoto will be now a gateway, even to Niger, to some other countries. When goods arrived in Lagos, because we're a landlocked state, so when goods arrive in Lagos, they are easily now with this highway, they are easily transported to Niger, because Niger pays a lot of money now. Most of their imports are done through Benin. Now with this option, you see a lot of Nigerians now importing their goods, and they have to pass through Sokoto. That will enhance economic activity. And once roads are constructed, you see towns and villages growing and springing up. You understand? And then a lot of economic activities will happen along the shores of the road. And that will enhance a lot of activities. Not only that, the construction of the road itself will provide income, because as roads is being constructed, you see a lot of people, the people along the roads where the construction takes place, you see they are being employed. A lot of businesses also spring up.
Okay, we thank you so much, Doctor, for having time to be on Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I have been talking with Dr. Bashir Achida on transforming economic growth in Sokoto State. And up next, Governor Ahmad Aliyu of Sokoto State has granted pardon to 113 convicts serving various jail terms in Sokoto correctional centers. Lalata Abdullahi reports.
The gesture is in line with the powers conferred on the governor by Section 212 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and in the spirit of the nation's 64th independence anniversary. Sokoto State Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice Muhammad Nasir Benji, in company of some government officials, visited the Sokoto Central Correctional Facility on the order of Governor of Sokoto State Ahmad Aliyu. After a careful review of the cases of the convicts, 22 inmates' death sentence were commuted to life imprisonment, while 22 with life sentences have been reduced to 25 years. Similarly, 2 sentences have been reduced to 2 years, while 67 inmates were released unconditionally. The State Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice Muhammad Nasir Benji urges the beneficiaries of the prerogative of mercy to appreciate the benevolence by being law-abiding citizens, and presented the sum of 50,000 naira to each of the convicts who were released unconditionally.
We hope their stay here has made them to be corrected, to change their way of life, to make sure that they did not commit further what brought them here.
Controller Sokoto Central Correctional Center Lawal Idris Gusau commended the Sokoto State Governor for the gesture and wished them well in their endeavors.
This number is enough to reduce overcrowding in our custodial facility here at Sokoto.
Those released are expected to become advocates of positive change by engaging in voluntary community service to give back to the society for the overall benefit of the country. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Update with Peter Oboy as our guide.
Team Nigerian Army have emerged the inaugural champions of the Comptroller General of Customs Military and Paramilitary Wrestling Championships in Abuja after garnering a total of 14 medals made up of 9 gold, 4 silver and 1 bronze. Nigerian Air Force came second, while Team Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps finished third. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, declared the week-long event closed with a call for it to be sustained.
Nigeria is blessed with talented youths. We need to tap those talents they have instead of just leaving them around. And I'm looking forward to next year, more events so that we can expose our athletes to this. It is important that we do this so that we can continue to win medals for Nigeria.
I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the Comptroller General for hosting this championship. We want to see more of wrestlers, more of them coming out.
To football, hostilities resume in the Nigeria Premier Football League this weekend with match day 9 games to be decided. On Saturday, it will be a fight to finish as Katsina United and Niger Tornadoes go head-to-head. Struggling Heartland are at home to second-placed Remo Stars in Owerri, with Bendel Insurance going up against Abia Warriors. 6 more games will be decided on Sunday, with the final game of match day 9 coming up on Monday. Away to the English Premier League, where Aston Villa and Bournemouth will trade tackles. Leaders Manchester City are at home to Southampton, while Everton and Fulham have a date all on Saturday. The marquee fixture of the weekend is the clash between Arsenal and Liverpool on Sunday. With Sports Update.
This Panorama this afternoon. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of the day.